Yo, what's up guys? Drew Creal here. In this video, we are going to take a look at what I think is one of the coolest new amps to come out in 2024. We're going to take a look at the Revv G50, the Generator 50 amplifier. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you stick around. Alright guys, so the G50, what is the G50? Well, it's kind of like the little brother to the Generator 120, the new Mark III version of the amp, but they've kind of stripped some of the features away and kind of focused on the features that most guitar players would use. So instead of 4 channels, you've got 3 channels. You have a shared EQ on channels 1 and 2, the clean channel and the overdrive channel, but you have the purple channel completely intact with all the aggression modes, all the different bright, cut, and deep switches, and pretty much everything that's on the Generator 120 is inside of the G50 minus that 4th channel and that EQ on every channel. I think that the Revv G50 is a great option for all of the modern guitar players, rock, metal, progressive metal music. All of those players out there that don't need 4 channels. This G50 has everything and more that you're gonna need out of a tube amplifier moving into 2025. So let's just go over some of the features. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a 3-channel amp. Channel 1 is that crystal clear Revv clean tone. Maybe edge of breakup you can get out of that, but it has this shared EQ with channel 2, okay? So you do have treble, mids, and bass. Channel 1 has that wide mode, just like the Generator 120, and you have a bright switch as well that you can turn on and off. If you're more of a country or a fusion player, the green channel is gonna be perfect for you. Channel 3 is gonna be that tried and true purple channel from Revv with all 3 aggression modes. By the way, channel 2 has all of the aggression modes as well, but channel 3 has the same features that the channel 3 on the Generator 120 has. The bright option, cut, and fat buttons are all there to enhance the highs, mids, and lows. You've got reverb, you've got a noise gate, presence and depth controls. You still have the dual master, and you can control all of this with the foot switch that comes with the amp. You know, you've got your 3 channels. Each one can toggle the aggression modes. You've got a mute switch up here, and then you can toggle between the 2 masters, and then your effects loop. The serial effects loop that is built into this amp is also there, just like on the Generator 120. On the back side of the amp, you've got all of your cabinet outputs. This is a 50-watt amp. There are 2 EL34s in this one. However, you can get 6L6 tubes or KT88s installed in this amp. Apparently, it's pretty easy to do, and the socket bases, the thing that the tubes plug into, can accept all 3 of those tube types, which I just learned recently. Right here, you've got your MIDI in and your MIDI through that you can use in conjunction with other effects. I use the Xaphon air step to control the channel changing on the Revs that I have here, but you could send another cable after that to, you know, an HX stomp, just a delay pedal of some sort to control that pedal as well via MIDI. Next to that, we've got the gate threshold, the reverb level, the proprietary foot switch plug. You can connect up to a Revv speaker cabinet like the one here with a special cable and light up this Revv emblem. I mean, as you're changing channels on stage, the colors change. That's pretty sick. I don't know of any other amp that does that. Here's your serial effects loop. This amp has an internal load switch, so you don't have to have it plugged into a speaker cabinet to use it for recording and other things, or even live. Right here you have the 50 to 10 watt switch, which is nice. so you don't have to be blowing the doors off of whatever house you're in. Right here, you've got the USB connectivity for plugging into your computer for 2 Notes torpedo capability. If you want to do some deep editing with the 2 Notes software, you can do that here, or you can do it with the 2 Notes app by connecting to this thing via Bluetooth, which is sick. You have 6 different presets that you can store on the front of the amp for different situations, for different live situations. And then last but not least, you've got the XLR left and right outputs. So tons of amazing features packed into this amp. I had the pleasure of using this amp on stage a few weeks ago. My death metal band Xaphon, we played a show, just a local show, and Derek was nice enough to let us borrow the G50 and the Generator 120, which sounded insane on stage. It was a real pleasure to play through an amp like this at that show. I wasn't worried about anything bad happening. I knew that my tone was going to be good that night. Let's do this. Let's plug in my Strat and listen to what the first 2 channels sound like, and then I'm going to plug in a C# standard guitar and let the purple channel rip. Here we go. All right, guys, so here I am with my trusty Malmsteen Strat. I know, I'm crazy, but I love this guitar, and we're going to start off with this for the first 2 channels, and check this out. So here we go. Here's what it sounds like. So there's kind of your basic clean. You can fatten things up a little bit by pressing the channel 1 button for this wide mode. Boosts all the frequencies, and I'm going to back off of the level on that. Quite a bit, actually. It really gives you a boost. And we're going to turn the reverb on. And that is a digital reverb. It's not a spring reverb. There you go, that's the clean channel. Now, one of the things that I've done is I've programmed the air step to control the different channel changes on this amplifier, 1, 2, and 3. And then you've got an extra button that you could use for something else, like maybe the noise gate. And then this one toggles the effects loop, which I'm not running any effects in this video. But I just wanted to show you that. This was really easy to set up. I just opened up the Revv manual, and I figured out what CC commands I needed to assign for each of these buttons. And basically, I have channel 1 set up so that every time I hit channel 1, it's in wide mode. And then channel 2 is on the medium aggression mode, and then channel 3 is full bore aggression mode with this selected. I'm going to turn the reverb off on that, but we'll come back to that. So that's the air step. It's a really great, inexpensive tool. I also thought it would be nice if Revv came out with their own proprietary MIDI foot switch. It could be a product that could be used on other devices, like to control other effects, but it would be made specifically for their amps too. So just an idea, Revv, if you're listening. All right, let's check out channel 2. I love the green channel for that type of playing, jazz, funk, fusion kind of guitar, and it will only sound better if you put a boost or overdrive in front of that channel. I also can attest to the fact that that channel definitely does the country thing as well. All right, guys, I've got a guitar that is tuned to C# standard, a little bit lower, a little bit heavier, if you will. And we're going into the third channel, the purple channel of the G50, and we've got everything set to about noon. None of the other switches are on, the gate's not even on, and we're on the lowest aggression mode. So here's what that sounds like. So as you can hear, that channel totally crushes. I think I like it the best with the bright mode engaged, maybe the cut mode, which I think does something to the mids. But I think the main thing to mention here is that, you know, we're going out of the back from the 2-Notes Torpedo, and you can drastically change the sound of this amp with these virtual cabinet options from 2-Notes. And to me, that's like the icing on the cake with this amp. So let me show you what the second preset sounds like. To me, that sounds like a Marshall cabinet, but what I'll do is I'll put all of the pictures of what's going on in 2Notes as I'm going through these virtual cabinets for you. I like that one because it's got some cool room reverb in there. That would sound great for solos if you switch to that one. You can do a lot of different things to fatten up your tone with 2Notes. All the different mic options, the cabinet options, the doubling effect that you can add. You can even mess with the EQ in post on there. It's just a really cool piece of software. I think these next couple virtual cabinets would probably sound the best with like clean guitar. So let's go back to channel 1 and listen to what that one sounds like. Well, there you go, guys. That is my review of the Revv G50. Hopefully you got a good idea of what this amp is capable of and what it sounds like by watching this video. I really enjoyed playing this amp on stage. I would love to tour with an amp like this. I would love to continue to play shows. I think this is a great option if you don't need all the bells and whistles of the Revv 120. It's also an expensive amp. This one is right around $2,000, so it's significantly cheaper than the other Revv generator amps that are out there. So this could be the one for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. I could really use all the support I can get these days. Please like this video. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of this amp below. Is this something that you would buy if you had the money, or is this gonna be your next amp? Please let me know in the comments below. Once again, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.